Okay. Let's see. Where did we leave off yesterday? We were doing valid Sudoku, and I think I was validating rows and columns. That's what I have here. Okay, wait, there's some issue with OBS. See, can we fix this? I don't see why would the stream bitrate be higher. Okay, now it's too low. Wait, what's the amount? Oh, 6,800. Okay. Change that. Okay, let me fix this real quick. I think this is fine. It worked now. I have to reset my camera every day, and I can never find the right angle. Should be fine there. So I think I was using sets, but then it wasn't working. Or it wasn't working with, let's see. Oh, right, I was using like an online IDE. And I think it wanted me to use, it wanted me to include sets, but then it said that the contains method was not a method of sets, and that I was dealing with that for a long time. And so now I'm kind of like confused as to, I mean, documentation says that contains is part of sets because sets act like maps. Oh wait, we should open it up. Let's see if I could find it. It was this first one. It didn't save it, so I was hoping that like the cookies would have saved it. Yeah, we're gonna try a different one because this one's kind of laggy. Let's see, can I run this? Little slow. Okay, let's. Oh, I should have saved it. I'm trying to think what I could take from here. Did we just do it in Ghosty? Oh, wait, give me 1 second. I'm trying to look for a folder that I had that contains some like practice code. So like every time I would code up some method or something, I would test it there first. I just can't remember the name of the folder. Where could it be? Okay, we'll just make a new one. Oh, we'll make it on this one. We went back. Dude, where did I make it? Okay, I see it. So I'm gonna make a new directory. I'm gonna call it Leetcode. Okay. We're gonna use this to code sections of the solution. So like on this one, I want to validate the code I have in neetcode right now. For valid Sudoku. So let's see. And I guess we can let this go. Oh, actually, let me copy this. Then I can close it. Yeah, board's not gonna work. I think we need to have the board array. Or yeah, it's like a 2D array or something. So type char. You format this. Do I have a formatter on here? Wait, is tabbed line the thing I just did? Actually, let me convert this because that's not gonna work. Let's do that. think the other one we fixed was it's supposed to be size. Oh, nice. Okay, this one was also wrong. Let's see. Oh, that's horrible. Contains is wrong. Oh, I should have saved it yesterday. Damn. What are we missing here? Yeah, so we do nothing if there's just a blank spot. And then here we want to check that the current row does not contain a duplicate. But there's something wrong in the way I'm accessing the board. I think that was the issue. Not quite sure what I'm missing here. Let's look back. Okay, we're gonna look at the solution. It's what we were doing yesterday too. Okay. I think we were looking at the solution yesterday too. So brute force. Okay, we were not doing brute force. Okay, I just can't remember how we check the board itself. Okay, I was already doing that. Okay, we could ignore this one for now. Wait, why use count and not contains? See what count does. Is it true that sets doesn't have a contain method? Because that's one of the issues I'm getting here. It does have a contain. What is count? Why would you? Look it up. It doesn't even make sense why you would use that. So using count once is more than once, then you could just return false. There's no reason to keep a count. Return the number of elements matching specific key. Wait a minute. That's because I'm not doing it like that. Wait, maybe I have to use an unordered set. Let's watch this. Okay, ordering doesn't matter to us, so yeah, we should be using an unordered. All right. I think I used sets because I didn't need values. And for sets, you could just have the key. I could be misremembering that, but I think that's what it was. Okay, I'm gonna watch the video. Well, I guess let's look at the whiteboard so we can kind of get an idea of what I had in mind versus the solution. So what I wanted to do was use an unordered set to store all of the values for the rows and the columns. So essentially, we would iterate through the board, going down each column, and then adding the values, not the empty spaces. So, for example, here, let's say we start in this position. We will add that value to the row and the column. Oops, I don't know why I wrote two. And then we move to the next column. And while we were doing this, we would check if there's any duplicates. Then we would move down a row. We could add that to our row. We would clear our columns. And then continue down the columns. Yeah, and so I think the solution has values and keys. They would have, and I'm not sure why they would have values and keys. How do they even use that? So let's look at the solution. Wait, does he have a C++ version?
Leetcode problem. This one is called valid Sudoku. It's a medium, and we're going to be answering it
I
in
can't
C++.
hear what's going on.
So let's get into the problem. So basically, we're given a 9x9 Sudoku board, and we need to return true or false depending on whether or not it abides by the rules of Sudoku. And those rules are each row must contain the digits 1 through 9 without repetition. So basically, in each row of the board, there cannot be any repeated boxes. So we have these 3x where we're going to keep track of the numbers we have seen in each group of columns, each group of rows, and each group of boxes. Now there's going to be 9 groups of each because as you can imagine, there's nine rows, 9 columns, and also 9 boxes. So, and I'm going to store all of these as booleans. It's going to be false if we have not seen the number, and then true if we have seen a given number in that group. So bool, we'll say bool calls 9, and we want this first dimension to be 9 because there are 9 different columns. And then we need the next dimension to be 9 because there are 9 different possible numbers that we could see in each of those 9 columns. So
is this a new approach?
We'll initialize all of these to false, as in we have not seen them. And we need to do the same for the rows and the same for the boxes. Now, you might be wondering, so columns, easy enough, because for columns you do 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. That's how you mark them. Same for the rows. 0, 1, 2, 3. But for the boxes, it's like how do you map, I and J to the boxes? Well, there's a formula for that, and once we get to that part of the problem, I'll explain it. So basically, we just want to iterate through the board. So, and we know the board is constant size, like I discussed. Maybe I didn't discuss that in this take, but we'll talk about it more. So, but we know the board is constant size, so we can just hard code a 9 in here. And then this, we need the inner for loop for the rows. And then basically the first thing we want to do is, notably, the numbers are stored as strings, or actually characters, rather. They're surrounded by quotations here, so it's a bit misleading, but they're characters. So we're going to have to convert the characters
Valid.
to integers. That way we can utilize
valid confusion. I would have thought the same.
But before we do that, the first thing we can do is just check if there is even a number there in the first place. Because if there's a period here, then we can just skip. So we can do a simple if statement to check that. So if the position of the board, or if the element at the position ij on the board is equal to period, then we can go ahead and continue, just skip that cell because there's nothing there. Otherwise, we got to do stuff. So the first thing we can do, obviously we've got to populate these data structures to mark numbers that have already been used. But before that, we can check if the number has been used. So we'll say if calls at I, and then the num. Well, first, how do we get the num? We got to write some code for that. So the number, because we got to convert it from we've got to convert the current cell we're at from a character to an integer. So that we can do that by saying board at ij minus the character literal 0. And basically the way that works is, like, imagine you have 0 here, that'll normalize to 0, or if you have 1 there, that'll
We're gonna vibe code this solution with what I have working right now. I don't want to use booleans to like validate anything. I'd rather just like, I don't know. I mean, like, use a map or something. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so we want to, this is what I'm trying to do first. Validate the rows and the columns. I'm going to put that on there. So it knows. And I should be explicit as to where I'm stuck. So I should probably explain also my whiteboard approach. Make it, maybe it sees like a fault in the way I coded the current loops versus what I think the proper solution is. So I could say wait, let me see. Okay. Wait, what happened to the music? Let's see. Need the vibes here. Oh wait, that's super loud. Actually, I think we're just gonna go with telling it what we have, and then, damn it, I forgot to paste the code. And that's the wrong thing. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Okay, number 2 is valid. That's exactly what I was describing in the when we were whiteboarding. So we do want to clear. We want to clear rows and we want to clear columns. It's interesting that I picked that up. Right, we haven't finished the conditional statement, so this makes sense. Okay. I want to look at the how the conditional statement's written, because I'm not too sure. Like if we go back, why is contains not working? Oh wait, it doesn't have contains. I think we have to use like find. Ooh, that's the wrong thing. Is it not replace? Replace with R. It is not replace. It's C for change, I think. Find. What happened? I never understand the autofill. It's like, why would it autofill but not like in the correct way? What am I missing here? I'm blind. See? Okay. You're closing. Okay, let's see how it did it. Did it use find? Or did it use something else? Slowly creeping into it. This makes sense. My naming, like my variable naming is not like readable. I think I was using like IJ. Not really good. Wait, why did it define it inside the loop? Okay. Is this why it's not working? You have to set it to a type? Okay, we'll do that for you. I'll say, well, not only that, but apparently we have to define these inside. Why don't we grab these? Yeah, I think we could just do why is scenes not working? Wait, what? Something's happening here. Should be fine. Yeah, that's not an actual issue. Okay, we'll take that. I should probably just update the version. This is also like double the work, I just realized. Because you have to do it for the columns and rows. I did the wrong thing. Okay, I'm gonna ask it. Also, can we just combine the two for loops and then have the rows clear every time we get to 9? So let's see, when rows is 0, the inner loop is gonna go through all the columns. We could fill scene with those values. If we see a duplicate, then we can return 0. That's fine. We would need another scene for rows. We would do a check, I think, here, outside the inner for loop. Okay, also the reason I think it didn't output duplicates is because there was no duplicates. So we can put a duplicate here. Then we could compile it again and run it. There you go. In column 0. Oh, I didn't change the naming here. It's in row 0. Oops, I think it was supposed to be flipped, wasn't it? Yeah, wait, the top one is rows. But the duplicate is not in rows. Sorry, it's printing column 0. But the duplicate is not in column 0. No duplicate here. The duplicate is in row 1. We should get row. Wait, what if we switch to the other one? Wait a minute. This is wrong. Should be here. There you go. Rows 0. That was the right thing we wanted. Okay. The other thing is, I think we can do this without 2 for loops. We'll leave it like that for now. But let's see, what does this say? Okay, how do we validate rule 3? Which is like no duplicates in the 3x3. I think that's it. Wait, 0, 3. Each box has a starting coordinate. Interesting. You increment by 3s? Dude, why is there like, okay. Like 3 nested for loops? It's crazy. I guess they're constant, so it doesn't really matter. This looks disgusting. Why does this one fail? It's supposed to be true. Maybe I move this to the bottom. Wait a second. Actually, I think we're gonna move from this one because I don't understand it. I don't understand the solution. The solution uses what I wanted, which is just a set with keys and using the keys to find duplicates. But yeah, we could use contains here. Maybe that's the issue on this one. Wish it was like a debugger or something. Okay, I'm gonna take a break, but I'm gonna try to work through. Wait, my break is gonna revolve around making Ghosty look better. Specifically, I want to debug. I want to debug through here on the terminal. Why? I don't know. I don't want to open VS Code. And I'm pretty sure there's probably like a plugin. So let's look up what plugin. Let me see. I think I'm using LazyGit. Or what is it called? Lazy Vim. There was like another version of LazyGit. That had some starter config files. I don't know why I put lazy git. Lazy vim.
Show you how to use a debugger in NeoVim using the debug adapter protocol. Seriously, check it out. I have a Go program right here set up with a debugger. I can scroll down, I can set a breakpoint, and if I start my debugger, I'm in the debug protocol. I am in my debugger. I can step through functions, I can trace variables, I can do all kinds of stuff. It's amazing. There's so much cool stuff here, and I want to show you guys right away. So let's get into it.
Is it amazing?
Welcome back to NeoVim for Noobs and everyone else really. In this series, we're writing a modern and modular configuration for both share the same API through a middleman called the debug adapter. The adapter essentially converts the debugger's API to a common format. This makes communicating with different debuggers simple. As long as there's an adapter in between the debugger and the editor, the communication is the same. It's kind of like the language server protocol, but with an extra step in the middle. Okay, so what does this look like in NeoVim? Now, unlike the language server protocol, NeoVim doesn't actually implement its own built-in debug adapter protocol. So we have to install a package for this functionality. Manually hook up all of the DAPs and everything else, and there's also not even really a UI for it. So the next plugin that I think we should install is NVim DAP UI. NVim DAP UI is a UI for NVim DAP, if you could imagine, and it provides good out-of-the-box config. Key map we want to set is for continue, which is the function that will actually start our NeoVim debugging with NVim DAP.
Okay, I'm not interested anymore. I've lost interest. Okay, we're gonna leave it on this. I'm not gonna submit this or finish solving it. Also, it broke, so there's something going on with this. Oh wait, we could have ran it. Let's see. Shouldn't this return 1? Oh, my streak went down because I didn't do it in the same day or like same time. It's still it should be within 24 hours. Like, oh man, this doesn't make sense. I think they should fix this. Best day was 9. Technically today's my 10th, but just because I didn't do it like at what, noon, I lose my streak. All right. Whatever. YouTube as my witness is the 10th day. I should not have submitted this because I don't quite. Okay, so this one's validating each row for duplicates. This one's validating each column for duplicates. Then we're starting back at the beginning of the grid, and then we're validating each 3x3, all 9 of them. I mean, like, stepping back, yeah, we want to do that, but I don't know. Okay. We'll leave it there. I guess it's good that we lost our streak because now if I do it earlier, I'll be fine. Maybe I should do them like at midnight or something. I feel like if I would have worked on this yesterday at 2 p.m. You know, today at 2, it would have been 24 hours. But I feel like because I'm still within the day, like the next day, then even if I do it after 2, I should be fine. This feels like Duolingo when you lose your streak. This is my Duolingo. But okay, we'll leave it there. And I think I probably won't come back to it for a while. I'm gonna uncheck it because I don't like that I didn't fully code it. All the other ones, we've been kind of using documentation and not ChatGPT, like actual documentation. And I think that that's much better than what I did today, which was give ChatGPT my my half implemented code, and then it pretty much fixed it. The nice thing about it was it validated the idea that we were able to use a set just to check for duplicates. We didn't have to make a map. We could have just used a set, clear them once we validated each rule. I think there's a way to combine the 2 for loops for the ones that check for valid rows and valid columns. I think I could do those at the same time. So there would have to be like some conditional statement that says like if the current row, if we're at the end of the if we're at row 9, and then we'd still have to check that that specific cell is not a duplicate. But after that, we could then reset. We could reset the set itself, and to clear it for the next row once we increment to move to the next row. And we could do the same thing for columns. Now the implementation is the tricky part, and I think tomorrow I'd have a little bit more energy to do it. I guess I'll try to do it earlier too, that way. Okay, wait, so today my streak starts at when I completed this, which was like maybe 5 minutes ago or something. So does that mean tomorrow, if I complete it earlier, is that going to start my new 24-hour timer? Probably. Anyways, okay, I'll leave it there. See you guys tomorrow.